Increasing the retention on your videos is one of the best ways to grow your real estate channel and beyond. It is the best way to actually ensure that all of the efforts that you've put in, from ideation, from titling, from video editing, from doing your thumbnails, and everything actually have a result, have a desired outcome, which essentially is generating business. Let me make sure our audio's all right. So our audio is working okay. I'm at a remote location today. So increasing that retention rate is absolutely something that you can control, something that you can very tactfully work on every single video. So that's what we're going to look at today. Let's get right into it. So let's get very tactical on how we're going to increase our viewer retention. How are we going to keep people on our videos longer? So again, that is a big, where are we? Here we go. That's a big way for you to actually grow your real estate channel and real estate business altogether. So number one, starting off with a strong hook. This is something you've heard in the past, but maybe have been unclear on what that even means. It certainly isn't, hey, my name is Jaime Resendez. I'm an agent and been an agent for the past 30 years, and then this, that, and the other. We're looking to get started right away. At this point, there's no time for that sizzle reel that was very common 10 years ago, or I guess maybe, to be fair, maybe past 6-7 years ago, where you would have your all of the it was almost like your little commercial, if you will. There's no time for that at this point. You have to get started on your content as soon as possible. So the moment that somebody clicks, that's the first impression, and they in 100% of the time they are getting the first impression from you at one point or another. Now, some people may have stumbled across your content a year ago and continue to follow you, but the majority of the people are going to watch your video for the very first time, 70% and above, whenever a new video gets released. What that means is you're feeding your audience a brand new video, and not only they're going to watch your video, but also a new audience is going to find your video. So starting out with the strong hook is vital. Sorry, I'm getting over a little bit of a throat issue there. So starting with the strong hook, that's absolutely vital. That's something that's going to increase your retention by a mile. Teasing the payoff. With your videos, when you're getting started on YouTube, it might be you might find yourself either rambling or really getting to the point, and both of those end up hurting you at the end if you're not able to keep people towards the end of the video. So you're teasing off a payoff. You're teasing off a reason for people to stay. So the way that we structure our videos is we have a hook, essentially enticing people into the video. We have what we call a reinforcement statement that validates the click, that reinforces the reason that the viewer is there. We get right into the agenda, and then we tease the payoff. So meaning the fourth element of our videos, we tease off something that's going to happen later on. So hey, make sure that you stick around for X. The biggest thing that you're going to overlook in your home buying purchase is coming later on in this video. So giving people a reason to stay is going to dramatically increase your retention when you're with your videos. Cut the fluff. At this point, once again, sizzle reels, commercials, long intros no longer work. If that's you, I can guarantee you that you're dropping a significant amount of audience just by having that in your videos. People are not going to stick around. They just don't have the patience for that anymore. You could have gotten away with that 6, 7, 8 years ago, but at this point, that's no longer the case. Just cut right into it. Go right into the meat and potatoes of the video, as opposed to going into a very long sizzle reel that's all about you. Absolutely cut the fluff, get right into the content, and keep things moving. Another way to increase your retention for your videos is having pattern interrupts. This is the whole concept of editing, right? So this is where, if you're not a strong editor, then I encourage you to get a strong editor. Creator Agents is always available. Our link is in the description. Having pattern interrupts. You yourself, keep in mind, you yourself are a consumer. You yourself are a viewer. So if you yourself cannot stand just having a video or sit long enough for just to watch a video that doesn't have any graphics to illustrate a point, any B-roll to emphasize a point, nothing that engages your stimuli or stimulizes you, then the chances of your audience, your viewers giving you that courtesy is next to zero. So having some pattern interrupts, and it doesn't need to be overly done. It doesn't need to involve a ton of fancy editing. It just needs to have some sort of editing to clean things up. So we're talking about zooming in and out of your frame, having visual aids. This is introducing B-roll every few seconds to keep people engaged. People illustrate, help people illustrate the point that you're trying to convey. On-screen visuals, this can be seen as a form of doing that. So on-screen visuals, once again, is that visual aid. So you can use text, you can use maps, you can use neighborhood shots, you can use custom-made graphics. On-screen visuals absolutely gets the point across whatever you're trying to make, especially if you are talking about numbers. Anytime you talk about numbers, anytime you talk about stats, anytime you talk about amounts, you need to have visuals on your screen to visually help somebody. People cannot visualize $2,342 in mortgage payments. They cannot visualize that. You need to show them that, especially if you're going to go above and beyond and share how that I don't even know what it's at, $2,343 in mortgage payment actually comes about. So you're showing where the amount in principal, the amount in interest, the amount in taxes, the amount of insurance. You're illustrating that by the visuals to help your viewers see it very clearly. Voice energy, there needs to be some sort of difference. So if we're looking for that, high impact, if you're looking for a better welcome or a more receptive viewer, we can't do a flat delivery. Now, unfortunately, today I'm doing a very bad job of that because of the pain here. But with that being said, I'm still doing my best to vary my tone, vary my pacing to avoid sounding flat, right? So the last thing you want to do is just have a monotone delivery. There's a big difference between that and going up and down based off of what the content requires. You may have the most important information to share on the face of this planet, but if you cannot land the plane just with simple voice energy, you are going to struggle, as I am doing right now. Engaging your viewers, so asking people to comment, asking people to engage with you, asking those questions, knowing that the viewer is going to ultimately see you. So I'm going to ask you right now, go ahead and comment down below if you're finding value, right? So this is, at some point, somebody's going to find your video, right? So you may be starting a brand new channel and few amount of people are actually watching. That's okay. Your video is going to be there tomorrow. It's going to be there a week from now. It's going to be there a month from now. There's so many videos that we have on our personal channels and on the channels of our creators that took a little while to get some lift. That took a couple of weeks, took a couple of months for it to find the right audience. But when it found it, it became very viral overnight at that point, right? So it took 3 months to become a viral sensation overnight. That's the name of the game. So keep speaking into your cameras. Keep speaking into the future viewer that's going to eventually find your video. So asking for engagement. Hey, go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead and subscribe. Share this with a friend that you think might benefit from it. Go ahead and give me a call. In asking your viewers for some sort of engagement, asking them to do a following step. So left to their own devices, viewers are going to do nothing. Cliffhangers between sections. Hey, before I share the following point, let me share with you the X, Y, and Z, right? So here, cliffhangers between sections. So before going from, let's say, B to C, interject a small story. Interject or share something else that will help you tie in or really reinforce the next point that you're going to cover. So having, leading up to the ending. But I guess the best way to illustrate this is if there's a show, I can't even remember the show right now. What it's called? The Righteous Gemstones. I don't know if any of Righteous Gemstones fans out there. So they do this incredibly well. I'm not going to give you anything away in case you're going to watch it, but what I really like about that particular show is that they have variation. So they have what's happening in current day, what's happening right now, and then they have flashback episodes. So they kind of pick back and forth on, they'll have a cliffhanger here, what's happening in present day, and before they get to the next episode, if you will, or the next episode, there's actually a flashback. There's a flashback episode. So for us to continue the storyline, we actually get reset to what's happening in this, I think it was like the Civil War era, I believe. And we have to, I say have to because it's not always my favorite, depending on what cliffhanger we're on, before we get to the other episode in that particular series. So having cliffhangers in between your next point, in between your sections, is a really good way to keep engagement, right? So you're building that anticipation, and it can also help you tie in the next point. It contextualizes what happens next. Listicles that build anticipation. This one took me, I'm embarrassed to say, it took me years to figure out. So instead of doing the top 10 and saying, well, here's number 1, number 2, number 3. No, start from 10 and go downward. Instead of saying the 5 reasons and then going, well, reason number 1, reason number 2, reason number 3. No, start with the higher number and then go backwards. So it's a countdown. These listicle videos are nothing more than a countdown. So you're having a list put together. And again, it took me years and years to figure this out. Instead of going number 1, number 2, number 3, start with the higher number and go down there. That countdown is going to build anticipation. That countdown is going to help you keep people on your videos longer, right? So this actually, because this is a live stream, it's a different format. So I thought about putting it in a different way, but in this particular case, there's no real particular order with this live stream on the tips that are going to help you build this increased retention. Periodic recaps, every once in a while, fall back and re-explain something. So as an example, if you are talking about the home buying process, as you're talking about what happens during appraisal, take some time to go back and illustrate what took you to that point, right? So people, especially when it comes to real estate transactions, need to hear the same thing over and over again because it's new to them. So give people that cliff notes, right? So the same way that we would go to our favorite professor's class for our Friday session, they would cover and recap what happened the class before. Hey, we were covering X, Y, and Z, so now we're going to cover this, right? So have those periodic recaps so your audience, your viewers, can actually absorb the information that you're sharing with them a lot better. Again, if you focus on your retention, if you focus on the retention of your videos, you're going to see that YouTube is going to push your content far, far, far more than if a lot of your videos get on average. Since we're talking about retention, let's go ahead and talk about some metrics. If your videos cannot sustain at least or keep 70% of your audience still watching within the first 30 seconds, you're getting ready to have a bad video. So the YouTube is not going to reward a drastic fall off. So if your videos, as an example, have after the first 30 seconds, if they have a 20% retention rate, meaning that people clicked on that video and didn't go past the first 30-second mark, your video is not going to continue to be pushed out into the world. So that's why we start off with a strong hook. That's why we start out with the framework that I was referencing earlier in order to optimize for that delivery, in order to optimize for that retention. Hopefully it was valuable to you. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know. Outside of that, hit that like button on your way out, and I'll see you on the next one.